All right, guys, live from the City of Angels, you are watching a special Monday night edition of MMT with the fresh reactions to Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. They are in. I believe that the premiere was just held in Sydney. So the people who got a chance to see it before, because a lot of times the studios will show these things to people early and then have them hold their reactions until boom, 7 o'clock here on the West Coast, coming up on 8 o'clock here on this Monday night. I want to say one thing before we get into all of this. You guys know nobody knows this business better than me. And I'm telling you, here's the reality of tonight as we get into these reactions. There is no studio more suited to getting the best out of their first reactions than Warner Brothers. They know how to play the game. They largely invite press that are going to be very friendly to the film. That said, I'm not saying that Furiosa is not a good film. What I'm saying is if you look at the history of early screenings with Warner Brothers movies, you will see, go back to Wonder Woman 84, perfect example of that. They set it up so that if you see the film, you're not going to come out and hammer it. Now, I don't expect Furiosa to be a bad film by any stretch, but what we're looking here for tonight is some accentuating the positive and really leaning into one aspect of the film, which will tell you the overall product isn't as strong. But remember, I'm telling you guys, trust me on this. If they set you into an early screening of a film and you come out of it and wholesale destroy it, like I did Babylon on its initial screening, the world premiere, trust me, I know what happens when you do that. You do not go to the first screening of a movie ever again because you're a wild card. Most of these critics are not wild cards, guys. You know that. We're getting the reactions. I just want to lay this all out here because you know that the majority of the people that we're going to talk about here tonight, they lean towards the shill side of things. That's the reality of it. And we're going to start with our king shill, everybody, because guess who's spoken? Eric, the king of the shills, Davis. George Miller's Furiosa is powerhouse action filmmaking at its absolute best. A ferocious and relentlessly paced epic that expands the story of Furiosa and the wasteland while delivering the craziest chases, the most bombastic characters, and just plain stunning cinematography. Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth equally dive all the way into the wasteland and both deliver some incredible stuff. There's one war rig sequence that blew my mind, an instant classic. I love the Mad Max movies, and I love this film. Start your engines, everybody. Eric, the king of the shills, Davis, has spoken, which means this is going to win 23 Oscars next year. Every category, including the shorts. It's going to happen. I love leading with Eric Davis. Nothing is more gratifying to me than to start a stream with the literal king of all the shills, Eric Fandango. I gotta sell tickets to movies. Davis, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Eric Davis. Thank you. Let's go to David Elric, who I believe belongs in our most overvalued film voices as well. We talked about Bilge, what is it? Jibiri? I forget. Whatever you pronounce his name. He was our winner last night. David is very close. Let me remind you something about David Elric. This is the guy who was quoted on the F9 poster saying that that was one of the best films. You must see this in a theater. Did you guys see F9? That's a complete pile of shit of a film. So how you can't do that and have credibility after saying F9 is something you have to see on the biggest screen available. So I would, again, tread lightly with our first two critics here tonight, although you all seem to worship David Elric because he's such a brilliant mind. The smartest film voice out there, along with Sean Fantasy. Brings me great joy to report that Furiosa is really, really fucking good. Operates in extremely different gear than Fury Road in ways I suspect will frustrate some people, but also manages to make a movie even richer while carving its own legend in the wasteland. David Hippo Elric. Does that guy even have a face? Why don't these people change their Twitter avatars? He's been using the same. David, what do you look like? Are you ashamed of what you, why don't you change your avatar once in a while? Same with Eric Davis. Well, we all know Eric Davis is always going to wear a skull cap. He's the Kevin Feige of film critics. You guys knew I couldn't just do one of these things and not take some shots. That's what we do. Good Lord. All right, let's go to this guy. Nick's Flicks Fix. The fact that I just said that without stumbling, I want to like for that alone. Furiosa is epic in every sense of the word. The world building and lore expansion of the Mad Max universe is front and center to a bombastic film that has some explosive, exciting action. Taylor-Joy is great, but Hemsworth truly shines in a way he hasn't before. Is there anyone who reads reactions like, I would like to be nominated for a Webby Award for how I read these reactions? There's nobody that can do this. This is special. This is a God-given talent to read this shit live. I haven't rehearsed this. I'm reading it for the first time. I didn't go over this. This isn't tape delayed. You're watching it as I do it live. That's the magic of MMT. We skewer people. We tell you truth about studios. And this is why we don't get invited to see Furiosa early. Here we go. Heroes Unbound. Furiosa was a visceral triumph, an epic trip through Miller's scorched wasteland. That's wasteland in every review. That spans decades. An emotional journey is intimately personal and deeply moving. Action is ferocious, wild, and unrelenting. Hold tight and brace for fury. He used fury in the review. Warner Brothers going to be really excited. Nice job, Heroes Unbound. Isn't that a YouTube channel? Here, can I just do one thing, please? Today, I guess they unveiled David Cornsweet in his Superman outfit. Can you imagine? I'm sorry, guys. If you love the comic book stuff, I'm sorry, I got to do it. Like, imagine being Heroes Unforged and all Unbound, whatever the hell it's called, and all you talk about is CBMs and big tent poles, and you know nothing about the cool little films that we saw this year, named to Asphalt City and Film. He doesn't know what that is, but he can tell you that David Cornsweet's suit has a couple of things up by the shoulder that look really fucking cool. It's weird, man. It's just weird to be that obsessed with this shit. I'm just having fun riffing on a YouTube stream on a Monday night. It's weird. Isn't it weird, guys? Heroes Unbound. I mean, I couldn't even watch that for 2 seconds. Then again, I couldn't watch myself. So, I mean, you guys are really sadists. All right, let's go to Sin Pop. Here, we got to translate this one. Listen, even though I sat through Tarot yesterday with Spanish subtitles, I cannot read this in Spanish. So here we go. And even though the production doesn't surpass the mastery of Mad Max Fury Road, Miller honors fans of the 2015 film, provides us with an experience worthy of being seen in theaters, of course, preferably an IMAX theater. It's kind of generic. That's a very generic take. But thank you again to Cinepop. Let's see, who are they? Whoa, Cinepop has almost 200,000 followers. We better be listening to Cinepop. I did find a not so great one. You guys ready? Watch out. Therese is going to get banned from the Warner Brothers list when she does things like this. Therese Laxon, watch your step, Therese. She's the features editor for Collider. Well, that's why she got away with it, because it's Collider. But, you know, isn't it interesting that they have the features editor hammering, well, not really, but you'll see in a minute what she has to say, not Frosty. Talk about another shill. You got Eric Davis, you got Frosty, you got these shills out here. All they do is say everything's great because they want to go to the next party. Look at me, I'm selling tickets and I'm at parties. I'm so cool, aren't I? Actually, you wouldn't be cool ever. Doesn't matter what party you go to, neither of you would ever be deemed cool in the history of the remainder of the planet Earth. This is fun. It's like literally a roast when I do these two. Therese, watch your step. You are really close to getting banned, even though you work for Collider, and Frosty will turn around and say, this is the best movie I ever saw. Oh my God, did you see it? Oh. Look at me. I'm hanging out with the stars. I'm a star like they are. No, you're not. I could easily watch 15 hours of Anya Taylor-Joy and Alia Brown in Furiosa. However, much of her film struggles with inconsistent pacing due to this segmented story, which is what our boy David Elric Hippohead had to say as well. This won't match up to Fury Road Splendor, but it also doesn't need to. What? What? Therese, this is a masterfully written tweet. Can I just read that last one more time, guys? Everybody, this won't match up to Fury Road Splendor, but it doesn't need to. That is how you appease the studio. You keep your credibility because she's trying to say the movie has flaws, right? But she can't because, like I said, if she does, Warner Brothers say, you're gone. Teresa, Bamfire, you're no longer, Therese, you're no longer going to be invited because you were mean. Can you imagine if they invited me? They'd be like, no, you can't do this. You've got to leave. You can't be here. Although they did let me see Dune 2 early, but Dune 2 was solid. I mean, I imagine this will be good though, guys. Comments, and then we'll do a couple more. It's going to be a tight stream here tonight. Yes, it is it's over. It's the same thing. It's the Batman voice, right? It's over. It's really hard to do an entire stream like that, by the way, guys. Very hard. Okay, let's go to the box office on Fury Road because it's interesting. You forget that this film didn't do all that well. Now, listen, we talk so often about billion-dollar films, and when Furiosa comes out, it's going to have a very similar release date. Remember, this debuted, Mad Max Fury Road 2015, debuted in May, okay? And it went on to gross, can you guys see that? The worldwide number, it's not even 400 million, 379. I had forgotten that this film didn't even get to 500 million. So remember, even though expectations are high for Furiosa, this is a film that had 10 Oscar nominations and won, 6, I believe. And this film couldn't even get to 400 million worldwide, and that's pre-COVID. So I think whatever we have in line for Furiosa, we should temper a bit. I will say, and we always talk about this, that when you have a film that does not perform as people expected in the marketplace, like Fall Guy, what that does is it builds energy for the next film in. So this weekend, Apes, which I see tomorrow, will pop bigger because of the Fall Guy going down. It'll pop it up because that's just how it works. People sit one out, they go to the next, and then there'll be a little break, and then Furiosa comes in. I think the film opens, this one, remember, Fury Road opened to 45. I think we can get at least 40 out of this. I really do. I mean, in this marketplace, when we have films not doing well, a film like Furiosa feels like a film that will at least perform close to what Fury Road did. And Fury Road went on to, go from that debut to a huge multiple because that proves that the word of mouth is very good. I'm not the biggest Fury Road fan. I don't dislike the film, but I certainly don't consider it a masterpiece. I remember going to see that film late in the cycle. I didn't even get around to it right off the bat. And I just remember hearing how amazing, this is just one of the best. And then I watched it and I go, it's fine. It's not a bad film. It's just not a film that I would suggest as a best picture. Certainly not a contender. I mean, as a filmmaking achievement, right? For all of those tech things such as production design, wardrobe, those kind of things, no question. Cinematography, certainly practical effects. I think one of the worries I have with Furiosa is when you watch that trailer, it looks very Zack Snyder-y. It does not look as practical as Fury Road, and that will cheapen the experience. It just does. I'm surprised no one's mentioned that because I see it in the trailers and you should be able to see it on the big screen. Again, that gets back to what we talked about from the top of the stream here about Warner Brothers wanting to stack the deck with largely positive, slightly, as we saw Therese do here, sort of subtly take a dig at the film, but ultimately saying it doesn't matter, the film's great. That's what you're going to see. I still have not seen one that is really a nasty tweet because, remember, they're never going to go again, which for me, I don't care. I mean, I told you guys, I'll see him down at AMC Burbank. The problem comes is when you worry about whether you're going to get invited to the next one, that doesn't make you a reliable critic. And let's also talk about this. There's not a lot of good critics out there. We've talked about this many times. I'm not suggesting I am. I'm just going to tell you there's not a lot of good ones. Okay, I just mentioned David Hippohead Elric said that F9 was a great film or really a blast. F9 was shit. You guys, terrible film, not a good film in any way, shape, or form. Fast X destroys F9. So you can't say, you got to really watch when you go crazy on a film. You guys come after me for Ant-Man. Ant-Man's better than F9. F9's total turd of a film. You can't say that, especially a lofty film voice like our boy Hippo Head. Peter Gray, now that I can say so, Furiosa's a blast. Made in the spirit of Fury Road, it's still its own beast. It thrives on exaggerated action and characters. Anya Taylor-Joy makes the character her own, but this is Chris Hemsworth's chance to prove his worth as a character actor. I think he has. You know, Chris Hemsworth is a solid comedic actor. He knows how to lean into the gonzo. Look at him here in this GIF, whatever you call it. Look at him. Let's find out who Peter Gray is. I have no idea. He's the lead certified film critic for the Australian Review. He's a freelancer for hire as well, and he gives a great interview. Well, of course, if you're going to give glowing reviews to movies, Peter, you're going to get interviews. They don't give interviews to people like me because I just said your movie's terrible. They're not going to send the star out. The star's going to be like, why didn't you like my movie? John Nguyen. Furiosa's 2.5 hours of colorful mayhem. Anya Taylor-Joy and Alia Brown get their fair share of screen time as the title character. Chris Hemsworth's like a villainous Thor with his red cape and long hair. It's one of the most brutal Mad Max films yet. This is rated R, right? Isn't it? I think it is. All these people down there, I don't know where this guy came from, but John went, maybe he's here. He's an HCA member. Scott would know who he is. He has 3 likes. John, get an audience, for God's sake. I mean, 3 likes on this film when everyone's talking about it? That's pretty bad. Why did Warner Brothers even invite you? I mean, if you can't do your job, John, why are you in the screening? Your job is to chill. I expect a 7 out of 10 movie. The first trailer had, I'm going to go 7.5, 8. The first trailer had me mixed. The second trailer had me sold. Seeking God's will. Thank you, Sophic, for that. This is going to provide so much depth to Fury Road. In 20 years, people will watch this, then Fury Road. Be incredible for them, my hope. That is a very good hope. I have no problem with that. Fury Road, yeah, exactly. Only, less than 400 million, 380. But it did well on DVD. It's a good point. I think Furiosa opened around 45, 55 million. It'll end up with 155, 160 domestic, 450, 500 worldwide. It could happen. Again, we talked about it last night on Fall Guy and why that film bombed. The economy is not great, guys. You got to remember that. I know that we are in a bubble. We love movies. There's a lot of people out there who don't have a lot of money, and they're not going to go see a movie unless it's like Deadpool Wolverine. So we could be just literally looking at that film this year. Maybe 300. See, this is all over the place. Not 350. I mean, for me, if I had to guess right now, I think 350 is fair. 350 up is what I'd take. I wouldn't take 350 down, right? Our guy MMT needs to play the game and make the money. These people don't make money, though, seeking God's will. They really don't. Let me explain tonight. Listen, as you guys know, that's exactly what it is. This is too real. Everything that we do here is real. Is that the people that are in the space largely don't make money at this. They largely get excited to go see a movie early for whatever that's worth. I mean, it's not, think about the monetary value on that. It's very insignificant. In fact, it's negligible. In fact, when you drive your car across Los Angeles, you just spent more in your gas than what it's worth to actually see the movie early. There's few people out there that are monetizing this, and there's nothing wrong with that. What do you think I'm doing? I mean, I'm doing it. I enjoy it. I don't care if people watch, but I mean, I'm also not going to say, well, I don't want to make money. Give me a break. That's dumb. But there's a lot of people in the space that have not monetized it. I'm going to say, I have a friend, I'm not going to say who it is, who literally drives to every single screening in LA and doesn't even monetize. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Why are you going to every single movie? It's not that cool. I mean, it's weird. I talk about this. I've been to all kinds of premieres. I've met all kinds of celebrities. I've been everywhere, done everything. It's not that big a deal to be standing next to Ben Affleck, to be in a room interviewing a big star. It's not that big a deal, man. They're people. They're human beings, just like you, just like me. So I think there's a lot of people who are really into that. Oh, I'm so in awe of being around celebrities and being tangentially involved in Hollywood, whereas I don't give a shit. I just want to see good movies. I want to see good movies get made. That's all I want to see. I want Furious to be awesome. I'm just telling you when it's rated R. Okay. When I look at reviews certainly from our King Shill, you guys, that guy is completely unreliable. I can't, I'm going to be honest, I could never do his job. You guys know that. I'm just built to be a truther. Watch out. When I come on the mic, I cannot sit here and tell you everything that an Eric Davis. Can you imagine that guy doing a podcast? He'd be fake. He'd be like, who is this person? You're not real. Eric, you're not a real person. You can't be a real person with these reactions because he works for a company. He's compromised. He's worked for a company that sells movie tickets. Can he come out and say anything other than this is a worthy successor to Fury? Of course he can't. That's what we're dealing with in this space. Frosty runs a Collider. He cannot have a bad word going around about the film. And if he does, he has his girl there doing her thing, and then he comes back and says the movie's amazing. Does anyone check what he had to say? I kind of shaded. Oh, I didn't kind of shade him. I shaded the shit out of him earlier when I said, when's the last time this guy said anything bad about a movie? I mean, seriously, when's the last time that Frosty dude said anything bad about a film? Can you tell me? And someone said Batman versus Superman. I go, what? How many years are we going back? That's how long it takes? How long's it been since I said a movie's terrible? 2 weeks? Civil War? No, wrong. Fall Guy. It hasn't even been a week. That guy, well, he didn't like Batman versus Superman. What? That's the standard? You have to just dislike one movie every decade, and that makes you not a shill? Like, why? I can't even believe I got a reply today from some guy. Like, do you know how stupid that sounds, dude? Do you have any idea? He didn't like a movie from a decade ago. That's true. You're correct, Nomis. It was yesterday when I told you guys that Tarot wasn't good. That's been not even 24 hours and I hated a movie. This guy, Frosty, it's been decades. He didn't like E.T. What? He probably didn't. That proves he has terrible taste. Seeking God's Will again. I didn't like Batman versus Superman. Listen, it's not I didn't loathe it. I didn't love it, but it is what it is. I'm not a comic book movie guy. I watch them, but I don't get all in the mythology. Did you see me do a stream about Superman's suit today? I'm like, what? I'm not doing that. It's weird. Doing a stream about Superman's suit's just strange. Guys, let's look really at the intricate details of the suit. What? No, I'm not doing that. It's not what I do. And that's why the channel will forever be, you guys know it, say it along with me, the Riddler's channel from the Batman. Only you guys hopefully aren't serial killers. That's all. I don't want you to go out and to attack the city. We don't want that. We just resemble that. The audience is small, but it's fine. We're cool. That's what this. And even if the channel ever grew to having more than the Riddler's channel and the Batman, we still would forever be that. It's never going to change. The channel's never changing ever. It's never going to happen. George Miller's previous film, 3,000 Years of Longing. Oh my God, I forgot about. Holy shit, I forgot all about that movie. I memory hold that. Animotion, I memory hold that's a bad film. What a boring, oh my God, pretentious, everything. I forgot that even existed. Wow. It's the first time I ever made that noise. Sometimes you literally just forget a movie completely. With what's her name? Tilda Swinton was in that. Not a good film. Soups is the best film evaluator of all time. You guys are going to make me just burst out laughing. I'm going to literally spit up my seltzer. All right, here we go. Let's see. It's not alcoholic. I drank beer. I had a beer yesterday with my writing partner. I'm not going to tell you who that is, but when you see, we're getting a script done. It's going to be better than anything that Bilge Edberry ever wrote. Whatever his name is, I don't know how to say it. He's just pretentious and boring. All right, let's see. Hold on. Did we get to do you have I don't see anybody else. Remember, let's go back to the top and then we'll get ready to wrap. A couple comments. We're out of here. Remember that Warner Brothers is very selective about who they show the film to. You are never going to get someone coming out of a Warner Brothers first or second, third screening that is not guaranteed to accentuate the positives. I'm going to drag Menzel right now. You guys ready? Menzel came out of Wonder Woman 84. And I don't even know if the tweet still exists. I hope he deleted it, but he said it was a blast. Oh my God, what a film. You guys, we've all talked about it. It's still back there. Where is it? There she is. It's the worst comic movie of all time. I mean, it's terrible. It's truly across every single level. Here's how bad Wonder Woman 84 is. There's more 80 song drops, needle drops in Tarot than there are in Wonder Woman 84. How messed up is that? Tarot, 180s needle drop. Wonder Woman 84, 0. Can I remind you again? 0 80s needle drops. The only 80s song that is played in Wonder Woman 84 is Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Welcome to the Pleasure Dome in the background of the club. That is one of the worst follow-ups to a film ever, and I've said it before. We're saying it again. Patty Jenkins, you should never work again based on that film. Honest to God, never again, never. I can never trust you, Patty Jenkins, to ever make a film for me as a studio after watching the pile of dog dung that is Wonder Woman 84. It's so bad. But remember, Chris Stuckman's what? Does Stuckman have a tweet? Hold on, let's see. Stuckman's a shill. We talked about that. Stuckman's now a director, so he's kind of a shill, right? All right, here we go. We got a Variety article. We can go through. Let's see if we beat Variety to these reactions. They already have a first reactions piece. Here it is. You guys ready? Let's do it. See, listen, can I please, just for a moment, everybody, I don't ask for much on this channel. I'm your humble servant of cinema. I ask you, is there anybody out there that could do this the way I do it live, reading this shit from tweets with nary one mistake for half an hour now? Maybe one mistake, but a half an hour, nobody. The rest of them are all at home cutting and pasting and putting shit together because they've got to think it out. They got to make sure it's perfect. We don't care if it's perfect. We just go live. Like our good buddy, obviously, we'll do it live. Furiosa First Reactions praise Fury Road prequel is really effing good and powerhouse action filmmaking at its absolute best. Let's find out who we missed. Let's find the tweets. Where is it? Give me a second. I think we had all these. There's David Elric, right? Then there's Eric Davis. We beat Variety. We're better than Variety. You don't even need to pay attention to anybody else. We missed Esther Zuckerman. Well, I saw Furiosa tonight, and it was great. Wow. Esther, let me just say that was insightful. Can you imagine coming out of a movie? Here she is. And that's it. By the way, I saw it and it was great. You can say more. Nope. That's all I got to say. Well, thank you, Esther, for coming. And by the way, Esther's part of the New York Film Critics Circle, which is, of course, all of our best pretentious buddies in New York City who speak for nobody. But Esther can't even write more than, I saw it and it was great. Because that's funny, isn't it? It's funny when you say, well, I saw it and it's great. Isn't that clever? Esther, you're such a great writer. But she's a member of NYFCC. Weber doesn't know shit about movies. She's a member of the New York Film Critics Circle, where they gave Lady Gaga the Best Actress for House of Gucci. What? You were part of that, Esther? Are you kidding me? Hang your head in shame and write better than that. Oh, we have another shill in the house. My good butt. Here's another one of my buddies who goes to screenings and gets virtually nothing out of it. It's Simon Thompson. Jesus, George Miller, Furiosa engulfs you. At times, it almost seems to exceed the canvas of the IMAX format. It's that big. And yet at times has a deeply affecting intimacy, echoing cinematic elements from the 50s through the 80s. It's a rich, smart vision the cast revels in. Simon Thompson, the man who drives all over Los Angeles. I missed it. Hold on, let me go back to it. He drives all over Los Angeles to watch movies, and I don't even know if he has an outlet. He writes occasionally he doesn't even have like an outlet. How do you go to a movie and not have an outlet? Listen, we have the Riddler's YouTube channel, but we have an outlet. Right? Fair? Cinema Joe. Heavy Metal Cinema has all the fire and brimstone of Fury Road, but still delivers something entirely unique. Miller is a movie-making god. Taylor Joy's a movie star. Okay, I've been talking for an hour. Chris Hemsworth delivers the best role of his career. Furiosa is why. Oh, shit, Joe. Are you kidding? Joe. Guys, I got to look at Joe's profile. Joe. Oh, well, of course, I have Joe blocked. Is that surprised? Look at this guy. I have this guy blocked. Is that surprising? First of all, Joe, you can't, this is the, I can't, can you imagine writing, this is why we go to the movies? It's so generic. Guys, Furios, if I came out and said that, they would drag me. But Joe, Cinema Joe 23, this is why we go to the movies. Good job, Joe. You did your shilling very nicely. We did everybody else. We did it all. We just missed a few people in there. We missed the shills. We got all the shills in. Last couple of comments for no, I don't know. He might be. He might be an alt who comes on here and try. They all are obsessed because I destroy them 24/7. They're little weaselly dweebs and they can't hang with me. So that's oh my God. I love it. I love walking into a room full of critics and just looking around going, yeah, who's the man? They go, yeah. Because they're just kind of spongy people. All right, guys, that's it. That was fun. I wasn't even going to do a stream. I was just going to sit here and do nothing tonight. And I figured I'd come on and do a quick reaction for Furiosa. 30 minutes of talking nonstop, straight, live, direct from the City of Angels. Give me a like. Give me a sub. Always a pleasure. Leave your comments. What do you expect out of this movie? I don't know when I'll see it. I'm going to guess I'll see it the night it opens, the 23rd. That Thursday night is my guess, because especially after this stream gets shown to anybody over at Warner Brothers, Weber is banned. He's banned, even though he was the only guy to defend Don't Worry, Darling. He also said Dune was a masterpiece and deserved all the Oscars, named it the best film of 2021. We've got to ban him because he says the truth. He says some movies suck that we make, and we can't have him come. But he loved these films. Well, it doesn't matter. He's got to love everything, like Simon and Joe. They can't come into a movie and say it's bad. Otherwise, we can't have him come. Therefore, we'll see it when it's out if need be. Not going to lose sleep over it. Peace as always, guys. I'll see you next time tomorrow night for Apes Reaction live from the City of Angels. Peace out on this Monday. Enjoy the rest of your night. Out.